I'm Karin Gillen, leadership coach for entrepreneurs and executives who want to lead better, faster. They want to grow fast and move fast, and they don't want to leave the wake of bad leadership behind them. That can look like employees not knowing what you're doing, people leaving your team, even if they're really good. There's a lot of ways that wake can look. And I support people to become the leaders that they want to be so they can build what they want to build as fast as possible. So today we're talking about, are you Santa or are you the ox? And what I mean by that is when I think about leading, there are a couple ways that I see it happening. One is you are leaned back in your chair and the reindeer are out ahead of you. They are pulling you, you're helping to direct and guide, you're kind of steering the ship or the sleigh or whatever you want to call it. You're not the ox. You aren't the ones holding that. What is that thing called when an ox gets all suited up to go out and haul everything around, right? It goes across their shoulders. It's like a harness. They're meant to pull and to make the impact by pulling and changing the world behind them, changing the ground behind them. As a leader, you want to focus on how can I empower the team ahead of me to get the ground ready for everything to come in, as opposed to this effort of leaning forward and pulling behind you and making that change from behind. A harness, yes, thank you. So why do you need to know that? Why do you want to choose between being Santa and being an ox? I want you to think about energetically what you have right now. If you have a team, are they out ahead of you? What does it feel like to be able to make those shifts and also have a clear visual on where everybody is? You can see if somebody's off in left field because they're not out ahead, right? Now think about being an ox. You're leaned in, your head might be down, you cannot see what's going on behind you. Some oxes even have blinders on, right? So they keep going in that straight direction. If that is the case, think about the effort that it takes you to get a handle on where your team is. And then even then, if someone's way over there, you can't see them. So think about just that energetic difference in being able to make a quick check of what's going on, where's the team, where are we headed? If I'm constantly having to look behind me, I'm not keeping my eye on the prize. And my job as a leader is to know where we're going and make sure that we're making those slight shifts all along the way that we need to make. So if you have any questions as you're listening, go ahead and ask them. I love hearing them. So I just want you to check in again, is this coming up for me and my team? And I know that everybody who listens and watches these doesn't have a huge team, but you might have a VA. You might have a family member who comes and helps out. Think about how does this larger image, this larger idea of leading in an empowering way with the team out in front apply there too? What can you do to make the vision so much more clear that people can take what you're working on and run with it? So this is the opposite of micromanaging, right? If I have to micromanage and keep my thumb on everybody and where they are, that works for a while. But at a certain point, that will break your business and it will break your team. So if you can practice these skills of empowering and keeping the team out ahead and everybody going and working in the same direction and keeping their eyes forward, then as your business grows, as your team grows, you have those skills to grow with you. Okay, so if you are Santa, if you have the team out ahead of you, I want you to answer these questions. What did you do that got you here? Because you want to be able to keep doing what's working. If you don't know what's working, it's hard to repeat it. What are you totally going to keep doing because it's working so well? I want you to really make a clear note of those things. That doesn't mean they're going to work forever, but it means if it's working right now with the size of the team you have right now, even if it's just you, keep doing it. And what are 2 more things that you could do that would really work to empower that team out ahead of you? Think about this. You're Santa. People love you. They want to do good work for you. If you're empowering a team of elves who really want to help Santa, we've seen the movie Elf, right? What can you do to help them be even more successful at creating the outcome that everybody wants, which is your mission? And if you're one of the ox, if you're wearing the harness right now, what is working? Because even in a business where you're the one pulling, there's still things that are working, right? If there's something to pull at all, you've got something to work with. So what's working right now? Where are those moments, and I want you to notice them over the next week, where you kind of have that, like, okay, everything's okay right now. And what happened to make that happen? If there's a place where you can have that slight bit of exhale, or even a little bit of a lean back, or maybe even take a day off, what is going on that was able to happen? Is any of that repeatable? Did you empower any of that, or was it somebody else who brought that to the table? Where did it come from? Know where it came from. So then once you know what's working, what are those little moments of exhale? Pick a couple of those to make sure you keep doing, or maybe you can even make them better, make them stronger. Second, I want you to figure out, where can I make my message more clear to my team, or even to myself if I'm running my business by myself, so that I can run farther, faster. So if you're giving people enough information, if you're giving them 10% of the big picture, give them 40%. So that they can run a little bit farther, faster, without you having to come back in and give them the next 10% and the next 10%. Because as you're giving them 10 and 10 and 10%, then you're taken away from whatever it is that you're working on. Maybe it's out there 80% or 70% or wherever it is. But at any rate, you're getting taken away from the work that you need to be doing as the leader, as the visionary. Okay, why do you need to do all that? You totally don't have to. But I'm assuming because you're here, you want to grow. And if you want to grow, you need to know how to grow the stuff that works and to quit doing things that don't work. And even when that's uncomfortable, it's absolutely what has to happen. There's no getting around it. You know, you can avoid it for maybe up to $300,000, but then it's going to bite you. So why not get clear on what you need to grow now and get rolling from that place of, say, if you're a solopreneur and you're running a $100,000 business, but you want to run a $500,000 business, you're going to have to figure this out. If you are managing teams of 10 and you're having to move into a role where you want to manage 30 people, you're going to have to figure this out. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Sarah. So there is it for today. If you like this video, I invite you to hit like. If you loved it, please share it. In the description of the video, you'll have access to my Lead Better in 7 Days, the fastest leadership training on the internet, and it's free. So go ahead and grab that and let me know if you have any questions. Post your comments here and I will come back and check in. Thanks for being here live, and I'll see you all at this same time next week.